What's up, devils? J-Dawg back to answer more goddamn questions. Before we get to the next video line questions, I printed off a couple fucking goodies. One was just a comment that I, for an email that I figured I had to fucking do a video on. Kevin Knipp, K-A-N-I-P-P, orders all the motherfucking time. Like fucking, when I say all the time, for sure, once a week, sometimes 2-3 times a week. 47-year-old goddamn devil. We were kind of talking back and forth in emails. He had something missing in his order or something, and I was correcting it, and then we just started, kind of talking and shit like that. So I'll get to his comment. It wasn't a question, but I just thought it was fucking funny. So I was like, fuck, it was common sense to me too. But goddamn, just to show you that I'm not the only fucking one thinking this shit. But question from Al Dion, maybe All Dion, Alldion. He posted this 2 days ago, his video, when I'm making this one. So it was a current video that I wasn't getting to, but I wanted to make sure I read it off because I knew people were going to be thinking this, wondering this, and which I've answered it, though, on video. But he's legitimately asked. Well, he fucking wrote it in there. It's pretty goddamn funny. So I'm probably going to title this video based around this, unless there's something funnier that comes up in the goddamn next few questions. Why does fucking J-Dawg have the goddamn J-Dawg name? He's asking. I was like, well, I did respond to him on his thing. I answered on the video. And I think I even answered it on Jamming Out All Badass on the podcast. I think I did. Don't quote me on that, but I think it got discussed. But nonetheless, here's how I fucking worded it. Thought it was goddamn funny too. So, All Dion, Alldion. Shout out to you, bro. Brian. I didn't recognize the fucking user ID whatsoever. What's with the name J-Dawg? ? I've listened to enough of your videos to know that you're true. But if I'd never seen any of your videos before and somebody told me, hey man, go check out this J-Dawg video, I'd be expecting, based on that name, some sports jersey, starter jacket, sideways flat brim baseball hat wearing canoe with a boombox on his shoulder talking about Tupac, Coolio, and Snoop Doggy Dogg. Love what you do. It's the best extreme metal talk I've found on YouTube, bar none. Appreciate that, Ron. It was funny. The reason I was laughing so fucking hard on his goddamn comments because when I talk about the sidewards caps, I forgot to throw that in as far as keeping an extra fucking goddamn straight up ghetto and just straight up, honestly, kind of fucking canoe, in my opinion. Is with the brim as flat as fuck, and then even they keep the sticker on it. I know that's the fucking that's the canoe way to go too. Dude, anytime you see a pure flat brim, sticker on it, and sideways, honestly, if you see just any of the three, but the combo of all three, sideways, flat brim, get motherfucking lost, brah. I mean, he might be an okay guy. Oh no, even that's kind of questionable. But he damn sure ain't in a fucking metal, and he damn sure's got no motherfucking business being in a goddamn Devourment show. And again, since I have to explain things, because like I said, I already know I explained the goddamn J-Dawg name, but, there's new devils every time. They don't watch every single fucking video. Prefer you guys did, though. Watch every goddamn video, but I understand. Going to a Devourment, like I said, no gatekeeping shit or anything like that, but fuck, it's just like, when you see that, and you're like, what the fuck is this guy doing here? It'd be the same fucking equivalent. I'm telling you, if I went to the Tupac, went to one of his fucking shows, the Coolio, the Snoop Dogs, and I'm walking in there, especially with my fucking leather jacket. You guys see the jacket fucking video? Metal shirt, sinister shirt, fucking spikes, they would be looking at you like, what the fuck is this guy doing here? So are they gatekeepers? So it's no goddamn different. That's why I don't understand how people look at it like so different. Now, the guy with the sideways fucking flat brim, I'm going to start using that one, goddammit, because it's one of those things I always knew, but I didn't put it in my lingo when describing these fucking total canoes. That, like I said, even outside the metal scene, that just screams canoe. When I see that big fucking flat brim, I just want to go up and bend that motherfucker. It's like, put some goddamn fucking curve in that thing. A real man knows you put curve in the fucking brim. Flat brim screams canoe. Have you ever? And as a matter of fact, every person I think I've ever met with a pure flat brim has been a fucking canoe. There might be an exception here or there that I'm forgetting, but goddamn, it definitely screams it. So, but yeah. So you see them at a dying fetus show, whatever. You're like, what is this idiot doing here? Like, it doesn't even make fucking sense. Like, how does he like this? And if he legitimately does, then I guess whatever. I mean, it's not like he's not allowed to. It's just like I said, you stepped into their fucking world, the Snoop Doggy Dogg world, it'd be fucking worse. Guaranteed. Guaranteed you went to like a Garth Brooks show or something like that, a fucking country show, duked out all metal, fucking gauntlets. You would get looks out the ass, and I guarantee somebody would say something. They might not kick your ass there. I get the vibe at a country show. You might, yeah, they might, but I mean, I get the vibe that they're a little bit more laid back than the fucking rap shit. Rap shit's kind of, to me, represents gangsters and shit like that, just hood gangs and crap like that. So I can see someone getting their ass kicked over in a Q shirt, like the one guy's story. That's not too shocking. But nonetheless, even in a country, I think you would just get looked at like, what's this dude doing here? What's up with this dude? This is kind of weird. So when I do it in our metal scene, how is it any fucking different? It's not gatekeeping. There's nothing to do with that. It's just, what the fuck? This doesn't even make sense. That's all I'm fucking goddamn saying. But to answer your question, all Dion, assuming I'm going to pronounce that motherfucking right, yeah, it's just the goddamn, it's the tongue-in-cheek, it's the irony, it's the funny, because I call that shit out, and I kind of always have. I have since I was a teenager. The very first time I started remember calling it out is bands like Disgorge California, Lividity, especially the King Canoe of fucking that shit was the Lividity bass player on the first album, whatever the fuck is that. I think they call him Big Papa or something. Just wanted to slap the shit out of that motherfucker. Get that stupid ass sports jersey on. Get on a real metal fucking shirt or get the fuck out of my fucking scene. You look ridiculous, bro. Like, you fit the fucking bill. Even Joe knows, goddammit. Even Joe knows. Joe knows. That's saying something. Get lost, bro. But there was other guys. I think a couple guys in Disgorge California looked a little fucking not as bad as that guy. He was the fucking king. Maybe bands that caliber, Anal Blast, Waco Jesus. Keep in mind, I like all these fucking bands too, so I'm not talking shit. That bass player in Devourment, the original, was that Mike Majeski or whatever? Was that his name? He looked fucking hood central. Maybe not as bad as a fucking flat brim, but he wasn't far fucking from it. So I was saying it back then. So probably around 98, 99. So I would have been 13, 14 years old. I'm just like, what are these guys doing? Like, why? I was like, why don't they have a death metal shirt on? Why don't they have long hair? I had long hair back then. So before you say anything fucking stupid, I hacked it off because, I'm not going to pull a goddamn Shane Embry. Granted, my hairline isn't that fucking bad, but I'm not going to wait till it gets that bad to fucking hack it. I was like, it looks like shit. It looks like shit. It's time to go. Days are gone. Get rid of the sword and shield had to go. You know what I mean? That's what, rest in peace, Kanye. Fucking can't get rid of the hair, man. It's your goddamn sword and shield. Totally ridiculous, but fucking no less funny. So I was calling that shit out fucking back then, and always goddamn knew it. So with that being said, the irony of the name J-Dawg is just kind of funny, and I never called myself that. Somebody else gave me that name, and people were calling that in the warehouse, and it kind of stuck. So when I went over to help Craig do his channel, the Hellcast podcast that he was doing for Hells, he asked me to go on after fucking Eddie basically left the metal scene. I mean, he was in it for fucking a good 5 years, and then he got out of it. Granted, I saw that coming a mile away. The guy was at a stage show. What the fuck does that tell you everything you need to know? So that was no shock whatsoever. So as soon as he left, I think Craig did a couple other episodes, and then he had me on, and it was guys like Tommy and shit saying it, like just even on the channel, hey, J-Dawg, and it just kind of stuck because they were already calling me that by default. So I just stuck with it because that's what people were kind of knowing me as from that channel. There's the irony that I called that shit out since my youth years, and so that's why it stuck. So it's kind of just fucking, tongue in cheek, funny, but people are calling me that, and I've always been calling this shit out. These flat brim, sideways flat brim motherfuckers, you know what I mean, the goddamn metal scene. So it's just kind of tongue in cheek. But I would think the same thing if I heard the name. And so we said, what is this guy? This guy listens to Sadistic Intent? Sadistic Intent, my ass, he does. And then you hear him talking. So, I guess he fucking does. So I totally get it. Just thought it was goddamn funny. Anyways, and then so from Kevin Kidnett, hope I'm pronouncing your last name, Brabra, right? I don't even know if he sees all my videos. He definitely saw one of them. So we're talking, this is through email. He said, seen your video, something about some guy who never heard Sadistic Intent and or Nunslaughter. Didn't have time to circle through videos to find what the fuss was all about. But in my opinion, someone never heard Sadistic Intent or Nunslaughter. They shouldn't be doing a YouTube channel about metal. That's just absurd. That's kind of what I was saying. And again, not saying that you can't. It's just what I thought it was funny about Kevin, and because he told me his age was like 47 the week earlier, I'm like, dude, yeah, if you don't even like know, if you're not familiar with bands like Nunslaughter, Sadistic Intent, Disaster, Deceased, Denial of God, kind of even putting Hemorrhage in that category as far as kind of like a gore grind band in there, because I want to throw at least one in there. Again, you don't have to be the biggest fan, but that screams to me that you probably just listen to big, what I call goddamn theater metal, which is, the Iron Maidens, the Judas Priest, the fucking Running Wilds, the Halloweens, the Megadeth, Metallica, Slayers, and hell, even the Cannibal Corpse, Deicides, and Obituaries is like the Deaths, the fucking black metal, the Cradle of Filth, the Demuborgs, hell, even the Dark Funerals now. It's like, yeah, and I like all those bands. It's like, but those are all big bands. It's kind of like, it just says to me, you're not into underground music. You're kind of just like, you're not trying very hard to find music if you don't know those, like I said, the Sadistic Intent type tier caliber bands, because they're not super underground to the point where you can't find them. It's just a known. If you're into underground music, that's the litmus test every time. Do you know Repulsion, Horrified? When you meet the Panini's fucking douche canoe, do you listen to Sadistic Intent? Do you know Repulsion, Horrified? Do you listen to Deceased, Luck of the Corpse? If it's, I don't even know what that is. Oh, bro, you're allowed to not like him. Like I know, like Goatman, he thinks Repulsion, Horrified is fucking boring. That's fine. He at least knows what the fuck it is and has heard it. You know what I mean? You can't be in the scene about, yeah, I haven't heard that. I don't know what, never heard of it. Like, oh, well, dude, then you don't listen to underground music then. I mean, you just flat out don't. Like, that's just one that you just know what the fuck it is. You just know. I mean, there's some other mandatory ones that I may not even be a big fan of. For example, like Voivod, War and Pain, and Voivod in general did nothing for me. But it's a metal masterpiece. You kind of need to know what it is. Like, you need to be in the fucking loop. And I'm fully aware of what the fuck it is. I always have known who they were and what. But that's a band. If it gets thrown out there, and if someone said, I never even heard of them, it's like, what do you mean you never heard of them? I mean, they're not even underground. So it's kind of like just stupid shit like that. It's like, there's some common, there's a kind of a common sense code in the metal scene, in my opinion. Well, it's kind of any scene. And those are, for me, representing underground, but it's not something so fucking obscure where it's like, okay, well, you're just being ridiculous now. Everyone can't hear this. Well, the band's been around for 2 years. Well, people are busting my balls. He hasn't heard of Mia's Manic Necrosis, a band that started in 2020. Okay, it's been 2 fucking years. Sadistic Intent's been around since 87. Like, it's not the same goddamn thing. But laugh that it was really why I will laugh. That is why I really don't pay attention to social media or YouTube. Neither do I, other than this fucking channel, because yeah, I have to at this point. Everything becomes drama, and someone is always offended by the dumbest shit. I 100% agree. That's why when people were pissed off about that shit, I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? It's just a topic. I even wasn't the one that brought it up. I was like, and it's just all good fun, and it's like, yeah, people get their fucking pussies here over fucking nothing. So nonetheless, those goddamn funny comments to read off too. Anyways, as far as on the video, the next one in line was anything actually good in the last 10 years by classic American thrash acts? Question mark. 192 motherfucking comments. See what the fuck's in here. I scrolled to the first question mark ahead of time. Not to waste any more time. Charlie B. Don't know what the fuck he said though. DAWG, question marks. Some of the revisit checkouts of albums need to happen. I do revisit albums time to time, and actually, I did revisit something recently. What the fuck was it? Something I always kind of knew I liked, but it was like kind of forgot about it, and I wasn't like the hugest fan of. But I was like, I remember always being pretty good. Fuck was it? I think I revisited the shop. Forget who it was, but I was like, oh, this is fucking even better than I remember it. You need to check out a few album tracks you always say suck, but can't remember for fun. All right, what you think? Question marks. Not a bad idea. I say jam out Far Beyond Driven by Pantera. Let's see what you think. The thing is, I don't forget what Pantera sounds. I know fully what the fuck they sound like. Next, jam out to Vlad Tepes' War Funeral March album, question marks. You know what the fucking sheer irony of that is? I would bet money that I would like fucking Pantera more than I would goddamn Vlad Tepes. From what I remember, Vlad Tepes was more forgettable to me than Pantera was. I remember what Pantera sounded like. And again, I rip on Pantera. I don't think they're that musically deplorable. I don't. My stance on them, as far as just music, leaving the fans and shit aside for a second here, is I thought some of their songs were definitely decent because I heard Pantera when I think I was 11 years old. It was Erica Chase that bought Great Southern Trendkill, I think was the first one, and one of them bought Far Beyond Driven. Yeah, I remember at that time, you were checking shit out. And I remember like, this band's okay. They had some good songs here. Like, I thought the title track, The Great Southern Trendkill, was pretty good. But the rest of the album, most of it, I'm like, is this even metal? These songs fucking suck. And it's not like they were ballads. Like, when you listen to Metal Church, and even bands around that time, all the heavy metal bands that have a ballad, Metal Church had the Gods of Wrath fucking kind of like ballad song. It was still a jammer though, and it had like feel and emotion to it, but it was still a heavy metal song. You know what I mean? Like, as opposed to like some of the shit that was on the Pantera that gets to the other track, you're like, what is this? This is like alternative slash grunge slash just shitty fucking rock. But then they would have actual songs. I'm like, yeah, this is a metal song. And I think Far Beyond Driven had stuff like that too going on. And but songs like Walk, that was just that tough guy, this shit going on. Anytime, and with the foot up on the speakers, boxers hanging out. Anytime you see that shit, I'm like, dude, I'm just not into it. I just can't get into it. That's that tough guy shit, and they're not even fucking tough. Some fucking, you look at that Phil idiot, just goddamn skinny ass 140-pound fucking goddamn heroin addict at the goddamn time. You ain't tough for shit, dude. Goddamn good old gust of wind will fucking knock you on your ass. Like, you ain't kicking nothing. You know what I mean? You ain't kicking no one's ass. You fucking goddamn pussy, dude. Cut the shit. But acting tough as fuck. Now, granted, that was kind of his shtick, and I get it. But when you see that, you're just like, it's one thing if you had some serious fucking cojones, you know what I mean? If you had some like Nick Walker looking motherfucker up there singing that, he's put on the tough guy act. That'd be a pretty cool kind of cool gimmick, because that's never been done. Some big ass looking motherfucking bodybuilder, not some fat guy either, jacked and fucking lean. You got to be lean on top of being big and fucking jacked. So sick of that fucking shit. So no, this guy's jacked. You put him like he's a fucking fat ass. I was like, he needs to lose at least 60 pounds to see his abs, and then see how big he is. But anyways, if you actually had someone who's jacked and fucking impressive doing the tough guy gimmick, I think it might almost be kind of cool. Okay, at least somebody that looks fucking tough, that fits the bill. When I think of my metal and my image, I want to see, I want to see spikes. I want to see inverted crosses. I want to see black clothes. I want to see metal t-shirts, long hair, headbanging, shit like that. Not some fucking arm behind the back bullshit. So that's what that song, Walk, or was it Respect, or whatever the fuck it was. But I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. It just screams fucking tough guy canoe shit to me. Tough guy canoe shit at a goddamn Raiders game. That's what I think about. Those drunken idiots that get all fucking tough. That's what I think of that Pantera fucking shit crowd. But like I said, they have songs that are decent. I've heard shit like Craig likes Cowboys from Hell. He says, "Oh, that's a good album," and it's fine. I'm not saying it completely sucks. Just the fan base is completely annoying. But yeah, musically, I think that it probably is better than Flat Tempest. And I've said it a couple times. I don't think they're the worst musically band. Bad. They have songs you're like, oh, this is definitely decent. But on the albums, it's got that filler garbage too, where you're like, what is this? Typical for a fucking mainstream band, though. Did you ever notice that? When you go check, for example, like you listen to classic rock stations, shit, when I remember, you would hear like Aerosmith or whatever. And it's like, why do they only play like 3 songs by them? And then when you hear some of the other ones on an album, because I have, like either my dad owned the LP or something, you're like, these songs are fucking horrible. The ones you don't know. It's like, no wonder they don't play them. It's like the bands write 1 or 2 songs. Let's make our $1 million off that. And the rest is garbage filler. That's what I thought of fucking Pantera was, to be completely honest with you. From what I remember, because I definitely remember a couple songs on Great Southern Trendkill. Others, I'm like, this fucking sucks, asshole juice. Title track, yeah, it's a metal song, pretty decent. Could definitely see why someone would like that. And as far as mainstream music, it had some fucking cojones. I'll give him that. But like I said, that Phil guy, he just annoys the piss out of me just looking at him. He might be a nice guy, he might be okay in person, but just the whole shtick and gimmick. I mean, great work for him, made him millions of fucking dollars, so good for him. He's doing better than I am, so he did something right. But for me, doesn't mean I need to be a fan of it, though. I thought it was annoying as fuck. Superman, question, J-Dog, what's the most wild, crazy, or most memorable thing you've seen a fan doing a show? You know what, guys? I've been asked this a few times. Either I'm kind of in my own world where I don't kind of pay attention to people around me, or Cleveland's lame as fuck, or I'm just not in the room at the time. I can honestly say I don't think I've ever been to a show where I think anything crazy, at least or maybe I'm just more like, my definition of crazy is just different. You know what I mean? I mean, because even if there was a fist fight, I don't consider that crazy. And I've never seen a fist fight break out. I've seen a couple shoves, like, and people getting kind of a little rowdy, but actual fist fight, when I qualify as a fist fight, I mean, there's multiple. Someone's walking out there with black and blue eye, broken fucking nose, possibly missing some fucking teeth, Another guy, he's knocked the fuck out. That's a fist fight. That one swing, he kind of tapped his jaw, and it was basically a bitch slap. That's a bitch slap fucking fight. That's not a fucking fist fight. So I can honestly say at a show, I've never seen what I define as a goddamn fist fight. And then other crazy shit, I mean, whatever people were describing at the goddamn Maryland Death Fest, guy jumped off a fucking building and killed himself. I was like, these people got to be making this up. And I was like, oh. And even Don said, Joe from Nutslop, the drummer, front row seats for it. He guy fell right in front of him. So that's crazy. But I've never been, when I wasn't at that show, and I've never seen shit like that at a show. But that would qualify as something crazy to goddamn show. I definitely agree with that. But yeah, I don't think that I mean, like, for example, kind of cool crazy where on the body, I remember like when Skinless played Sherwood the singer, like body surfing when he was singing at the same time. I thought that was cool, but I don't consider that crazy. I just thought, oh, guy, and singing while he's in the pit. And I know he's not the only guy that's done that. I'm sure hardcore bands and shit have done that too. To be completely honest, I'm sure those chugga-lugga fucking Pantera wannabe bands, I'm sure they kind of do it too. But to see a death metal band, get the stick out of their fucking ass and have some energy and oomph. This is back when Skinless was still good too. First two albums, everything after that blows fucking chunks in my book. But he put on a hell of a goddamn show. I remember him doing that live. Again, does that qualify as crazy? It don't in my book. I'm like, oh fuck, this guy's actually putting on a goddamn show. I guess in a sense, because I remember he like jumped off the speaker or something. I don't know if that's crazy, but for me, because I wouldn't want to get hurt. I'm gonna break an arm or something or dislocate my shoulder. If someone told me to do it, I'm like, I'm not that crazy. So I guess in that sense, it's kind of crazy, but I just thought it was cool. You know what I mean? That was probably like, 2000, 2001. It wasn't at the 1999 show. That's when I first saw Skinless opening up for Mortician. Because that was Ghost Town. Cricket's like a motherfucker. Nobody there. That's when all these posers that listen to Mortician now, they weren't posing it up back. Quite frankly, they're probably sucking their thumb, playing with fucking G.I. Joes and Barbie dolls back then when the Tish was fucking around because they weren't listening to Mortician. Not in Cleveland, anyways. I was at the goddamn show. There was 30 fucking people there. And I'm being so generous with that fucking 30. That's counting the bar fucking tender, too. So, but that's when I first saw Skinless, so it wasn't that crazy performance, if you want to call it that, wasn't at that show. It was, actually, I want to say it might have been on an Ohio Death Fest that Skinless played. I think it was, actually. And I think they were on their second album. But maybe that, and again, I don't even consider that fucking crazy, but I've never seen somebody bust out a knife or a gun, and I want to keep it that way, too. I like going to my shows. I don't want to be fucking, worried about if I'm going to get fucking stabbed or not. So it's a good thing that I haven't. Yeah, other than that, I can't think of anything that I consider fucking crazy. Like, yeah, maybe I'm just so wrapped in my own world and I'm just not paying attention. I'm not in the room at the same time. So, what's your crazy shit in there? I guess, like I said, I heard about the Maryland Death Fest. The guy killed himself, and what was there? Some girl pissing and shitting on stage or autopsy. I mean, that's a little crazy, or in my opinion, kind of unnecessary. I guess that would qualify, but again, I wasn't there. I just heard about it. So. Anyways, that's one of those comments. Put in the comments box, and I got some bright in the morning. Later, goddammit.